Alright, so boom. We doing another video on this pop balloon bullshit. Now, we did a prior video on this, and we still stand on business. We stand on our opinion that bro didn't do nothing wrong in the video. Now, if you want to talk about what he did after the video or before the video or his relationships with other people, I don't know nothing about that.
We're talking about the aspect of the dating.
Right, the video. That's all I know is that what I saw on the video. And what I saw in the video is that he was minding his business. A group of people decided to engage in low IQ, retard groupthink and get together to come after him because he didn't reject them as nicely as they felt he should have. And I think that that's bullshit. There's no way that he should have to give you the amount of grace that you refuse to give him.
Yeah.
That's not real.
That's not how respect is given.
It's earned, not given.
Yes, respect is earned, not given.
Just because you say you don't want me, and I say, well, that's cool, I don't want you either. That's not wrong.
And he's adding queen to every sentence.
That's not wrong. He tried his best to be respectful until y'all started coming after him. Then he started being petty, which he's entitled to do as a human being.
Right. Listen, as a female, a level-headed female, I wouldn't have taken disrespect from what he was saying.
It is what it is.
He didn't call them out their name. He didn't disrespect. The only time that he may have gotten disrespectful is when he said, "Can you take out 100,000 out the bank?"
Or even when he's talking about the arm hair thing. But it's like,
yeah.
But he did that because she came at him for no reason.
And the fact is that he went to the next girl saying, "Oh, your arm hair is fine."
Exactly.
So
because it was clearly you. It was clearly you. You're the problem.
You were being petty, so he was petty back, and then the next girl he didn't care.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But before I get into all of that, let me provide a brief synopsis because there's many people who watch me that have no idea what's going on. I recently did several videos about a guy who was on the Pop the Balloon dating show, and the story was that allegedly numerous people called into his place of business to get him fired due to how he acted on the show. He then started a GoFundMe, leveraging this story, which amounted to around $14,000 in donations.
Send that by
As you guys know, my channel's purpose is all about restoring power to men, and I do that in several different ways. But one of the ways is that I highlight stories about men who are going through real adversity and featuring their stories on my platform. So again, I thought that it was deplorable. I thought it was disgusting that this man was canned because of cancel culture. And I uploaded 3 videos initially to talk through this. But during those videos, I never told my audience to donate to the GoFundMe. But really, I focused my talking points around the injustice that this man suffered.
The issue at hand in which he's dealing with.
Right. And to me, you could still leave out whether he was fired or not fired. It's wild to even for the internet to curve against this man like this because he stood his ground against 12 people insulting him. Like, even Long Beach Griffey did a video about that. We'll probably react to that. Whereas it's like, dudes going to pop the balloon shit to get fucking victimized.
It's just crazy to me how women get insulted by a man just because they didn't want him, even though they themselves do not want that man, and will literally destroy a man's livelihood.
Based on that.
Based on that. And it's just like, this man could have went about his life and you could have went about your life and been fine. But y'all literally went out.
Cool. Let's see if that's what actually happened though.
Okay.
Because he's saying that it may not be true that he didn't actually get fired.
Yeah.
I then decided to reach out to him to do a live stream interview with him that ended up lasting 5 hours. Now, I got a lot of criticism after interviewing him, but I wanted to give him a fair shot to tell his side of the story. There was no gotcha questions, and in fact, I reached out to him before the interview and went over the things that I wanted to talk about. Now, while I was deeply criticized for even having an interview with him, the interview itself was definitely a success in a sense of it gave me the opportunity to extract a lot of information for him that was used inevitably to poke holes into his story. But again,
so let's see what happened here with the lies, because I'm not privy to whatever alleged lies he's supposed to have told. But like I said, that doesn't make, he could be the liest liar in the whole world. That doesn't make what happened on that balloon show acceptable. It doesn't. He was free to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
For example, I asked him on the 5-hour live stream, have you ever been convicted of any harm against women? Is there any stalking within your arrest record? Your warrants?
I guess someone said he did.
No.
No
Okay.
crimes against women, no crimes against children.
Okay. So in other words, it's not adding up. Is my conclusion right here?
It's not adding up because obviously I'm not a good criminal because you see all the charges I get. Every time I do something, I get caught.
That was a lie, with charges of not only sex trafficking, but also pandering, which is like the cousin of pimping. Now, does this disprove that he was actually fired from his job? No. But it was my first indication of deception. He also lied about the knowledge of him having a son. Do you remember what he said on the live stream when I asked him about his child? Summon him.
But he actually does have a kid. He just...
Okay, you got a child now?
Okay, now I'm going to say this.
Oh my gosh. The answer is no, isn't it?
Answer that question without destroying lives, I'm going to say this. If I have a child out there, summon him.
Okay.
Summon him. Bring him here. Where is the mother? I haven't heard anything about anything in years. You know, if there's any kids out there that people are stating that are mine, you know, summon him and rectify that matter. Let's clear all the smoke that's out there. If there is a child out there that is mine, summon him, please. I'm a man that handles his responsibilities.
Okay.
I would love to be a father more than anything on
Why he put the quotes on the bottom?
So it sounds like a woman accused you.
Why he put the quotes on the bottom?
A woman got pregnant and thought you might be the father.
All I'm going to say is, if I have a child out there, summon him.
Okay.
I don't want to destroy any families. I don't want to destroy any lives. So, in order for me to elaborate on this matter
that sounds a little deceptive to me, though.
Okay.
So
either you do or you don't.
Child out there,
if you don't,
that is mine.
Then summon him, but that's it.
Well, they've been trying to summon this guy. His alleged son, who he has definitely met, is 8 years old. The mother has begged him to take a DNA test for the past 8 years to prove his paternity. His birth certificate shows that she named the child after him, Aaron Sloan Jr. Okay. But you know what he also shares? His entire face, including that big bright smile. What a beautiful boy that has to deal with being raised without a father's presence. I had no idea that as I defended him, while I utilized stories about my relationship with my father, this guy was actively avoiding taking a DNA test to prove paternity. We watched him throw money up in the club. He claimed that he has $100,000 in the bank. Do what's right.
But then
he
you
also lied about
wouldn't
his
need a
plans for
GoFundMe.
the GoFundMe money. In ridiculous fashion, he posted on his social media the evidence that the GoFundMe account that he had was locked. But underneath that post, he wrote, "Black man can't celebrate his birthday now?" Really? Underneath the post that your GoFundMe account got locked? And then he writes, "How you gonna tell me how to spend my money?" As if he's not obligated to spend his money for the purpose
of
he
getting
created the
a new
GoFundMe
job.
for.
Yeah.
So we lied about plans for the GoFundMe,
go to
but
the
we're all
fucking strip club with
expected
that
to
shit.
believe that he got fired from his job or that he had a legit job to get fired from. Even before confirming all of these different lies, I was suspicious. Hence why I...
Now, we watched a portion of Abba and Preacher's video, and they came at MTR and some other people where they were like, well, now that you find out all this stuff, now you turning against him? It's like, well, they were like, how are we able to see that he was a weirdo or a scammer or whatever based on his behavior on the show, but you guys weren't able to see it? Let me tell you something. This shit is entirely a coincidence as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. How he behaved on the show and whatever he's got going on in his personal life, his penchant to lie, this, that, and the other. Because the questions he was asked on the show really have nothing to do with whether you, like, it's not really about you, mostly. Like, he wasn't telling his entire life story where, like, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. The majority of his pop the balloon thing was, I work here, and why don't you find this person attractive? That was literally the whole thing, right? So, I mean, despite the fact that he might be an absolute scumbag in real life, if you swap him out for another man and put him in the same place and have him answer those questions in the same way, that doesn't mean that behavior necessarily and logically leads to this behavior. they're not related.
I never said to donate to the GoFundMe to begin with. But at this point, now my suspicion meters are off the charts. And there's other things within that 5-hour stream that were uncovered, like, you know, when he had first tried to lie about putting the tracker into his ex-girlfriend's car after I pressed him about it.
And I was like, how did you know I was outside, right? He said, I put my extra phone tracking you in your car and I left it on record because I was expecting to record you doing something, as in cheating on me or like messing around in your car. And I was like, I was done. After that,
I have never heard of a smartphone in the car. Like, how long would a smartphone stay on? I
Yeah,
don't,
right?
those things are going to overheat after a while. Is it true that you put a smartphone?
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like, how long could you really leave it in the car, like, and recording? Like, that shit was shut off, bro. Like, that could only have gone for a day or so.
In
But
the car,
but still,
and
it is weird.
pressed the record
Stalkerish
button
behavior.
and just threw it back in there.
No.
Okay,
She's making that
blatantly, she's just making that up out of fucking thin air.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay.
You did that shit.
Let's talk about it.
A few moments later.
I'm trying to see how I can answer this. I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly.
What you mean, nigga?
But no, I didn't put no smartphone.
Like I said, nigga, I can compartmentalize things, nigga. You was on the show doing what I thought was valid behavior, and bro on here lying like a rug. You gotta be kidding me, nigga. Somebody asks you a question, he say, "Oh, hold on, how do I?" You gotta lie better, cousin. Oh my lord, look at MTR face. What the fuck?
I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have two phones, okay?
Aaron.
No, listen. Let me break it down to you. I had two phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully, because they're going to crucify me. So I lied to her. I told her I did an airdrop, left the phone in there, but I don't even know how to do an airdrop. But honestly, yes, the phone location, my location was on. I know she was cheating on me and stuff, so I did. If it sounds crazy, then man, whatever.
But then why'd you lie, though?
I appreciate you telling the truth.
Why did you lie? That's the point. Why would you lie about that? Because to be honest, there are people that would support you. I would support you. It's not like you are in a tree outside a fucking window. You threw a phone with your location on in the car to track the girl who you're with who's lying to you about fucking other niggas. Now, while that is a little stalkerish, that's also, well, are you fucking other niggas though? Or maybe he's lost his mind and then he's being completely insane and he has no reason to believe that and he's just being insane and throwing the shit in the car. That could be that too.
And he has every right to actually have his tracker on his phone because it's his belongings. So if he loses it,
right.
It would be very helpful to have a tracker on his phone to find it. The fuck?
So if he left it in the car on purpose, creepy, yeah, a little bit. But graduating that to stalker, especially when you're in the relationship with the person and you have valid reasons to believe that they're cheating on you and yet still keeping your resources, might be... People have done more crazy things than that to figure out if their partner was cheating.
Females have.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So it's like when you go and get put on cheaters or whatever, how is that any different? Ain't that what cheaters do? They follow you around. They have a private investigator to follow you around for a week or longer. So what's the difference between you throwing a phone in the car to see if this bitch went where she said she was gonna go? Like I said, weird, sure. Stalker, you're pushing it a little bit.
Truth.
But why did he lie? That's what's weird. Why did you lie?
Whatever, man.
Because first it was, no, I never did that. I don't got a kid. I didn't lie. Now it's, well, how do I? Like, come on, man. Come on, nigga.
But let's get off of all of the holes that I was able to see through via my 5-hour live stream. Because at this point in the story, it gets worse. Because I have evidence that he has completely misrepresented himself. Not in the past, before he went to jail.
Tell me more.
But now, currently, that he's not a reformed member of society that he has led us all to believe. There was a police incident report that was filed April 20th of this year, of 2024. Months before his episode on Pop the Balloon even aired, a woman accused him of sexual assault. Now, this woman actually joined the Queen of Accountability stream and recounted this assault. Her recounting it is beyond disturbing, and I'm not going to replay it right now. And guys, listen, you guys already know I am not a fan of guilty until proven innocent.
There it is. Okay.
But again, another piece of information as to who this person actually is. And
potentially, right. Now, again, I'm a lawyer, so like the fact that he lied about this other thing that is unrelated and, you know, he wasn't under oath, blah, 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 does not necessarily mean that he's going to lie about this thing, which is a different topic and have nothing to do with each other, right? That being said, getting caught in all these lies in a row and then another lie, shit popping up out of your past, it gets to look as if you are a bad person, or at least the person that these women pop up to say that you are. But like I said initially, that doesn't have anything to do with what he did on the show necessarily, because you could have taken those exact same actions and not be this person.
But the problem is, it's a dating show, and if you're lying and selling yourself in this manner, your credibility to the person that you're possibly going to date is not going to be at the best.
You're right, but he didn't lie to any of them. Other than saying he had $100,000 to put the bank, and he didn't. He didn't give any of these stories or say anything that was untrue on the show. It's only later that he's being interviewed because they think he was being sassy or whatever, and then that leads into him divulging shit about his past, people popping up, he lying about it, etc. So, like I said, while his behavior is definitely, his prior behavior can be considered to be deplorable, if you can easily divorce that from the behavior on the show. Like I said, I stand by what I said originally. He ain't do nothing wrong on that show. Whatever he did before or after, that's entirely different.
Why now I'm considering distancing my brand as well as my community from him. By the way, this is not just a police incident report. The district attorney's office is currently working on pursuing charges against him.
And just what MTR said, and so that everyone's clear, right? Just because someone accuses you of something doesn't mean you did it. No matter how salacious the details, no matter how crazy the story, it doesn't mean you did it. It doesn't. I got a friend who does criminal defense. All day long, he's cross-examining quote-unquote rape victims who are getting caught lying, getting caught making shit up. He getting people off on shit that they're facing 20 years for touching.
I could go outside and say my neighbor robbed us last night.
They're going to take him.
Right, because they have to look into it.
And then there's going to be a police incident report that looks like this. He's going to have an arrest record.
All because
and they're going to take him. And all because someone opened their mouth and said something. Yep. That doesn't mean it's true.
They did it.
It doesn't mean it's true. So that's the other thing. It's like, I hate to use, to just throw all these things together. Lies, yes. Accusations, I don't want to put the accusations on top of the lies, because the lies are bad, yes. The accusations may or may not be bad, because I don't know if they're true or not.
Right.
And then to top all of this off, I then receive at least 7 police incident reports from the past year. Again, this is not before he got locked up. This is within the past year. Since 2023.
See, again, lying. You're lying. They asked you all this shit about yourself that you, after the Pop the Loom show is over, and he went on everybody's podcast and fucking lied and lied and lied.
So far, all I'm collecting is that he's a sociopathic liar.
Yeah,
that's about it.
He lies a lot, and he's arguably a criminal. Now, he's been accused of a touching, and they're trying to link that and say, well, he's also a stalker because he threw the phone in the car.
That's another thing I can gather from this. But
right, let's see.
Other women that he attempted relationships with. Now, mind you, these women did not know each other before he went viral, who all claim similar allegations of abuse. The MO is something like, they met, he begins to demonstrate overbearing or stalking behavior, and then when they break up, he goes ballistic. Allegations of destroying
TV in the tub.
Property, and even with one girl, he allegedly removed the garbage disposal from the woman's sink out of spite.
I'm not gonna lie, that is hilarious. That the thing he just chose to take is the garbage disposal. Not a TV. He threw a TV in the tub. That's wild. I see one. He took some stuff. That's wild. So, son, a career criminal. So why you going to Bob the Balloon show? so people can find out about you. What's wrong with this nigga, bro?
Sounds like something a petty plumber would do. With documented
Yeah, right?
text messages of threats.
That's funny. He is a plumber. You right. He said that sounds like something a petty plumber would do. You right. I'm gonna call him the petty plumber.
Which is interesting because that's exactly what he said happened to him in his GoFundMe story. Also, these text messages show that he's threatening his exes with even like releasing revenge corn. Now, I'm not going to put that picture evidence on the screen for obvious reasons, but again, all of this information is on the Queen of Accountability stream.
Good Lord.
And if you want information from the source, I suggest that you go watch the content. But let me pause right here and let me just ask you guys.
Here comes the bear in the woods.
What would you done if you were in my situation? You've dedicated at least 5 videos, working 15, maybe even 20 plus hours in total on a mission that you truly believe that you are supporting a man in a very unjust situation.
Yes.
MTR didn't do nothing wrong, nor did anyone else who defended him. Because in the end of the day, you can only go by the information you're given and the information you have available to you. I don't know this nigga. I'm not the police. I'm not a private investigator. I'm not going to hide in his bushes and wait for him to do something wrong. The only information I have is what has been presented. I watched a video where he was trying to find a mate and arguably got ragdolled by some retard groupthink. He responded in a petty way. The internet didn't like that because men aren't allowed to be petty to women. That's where this all began from. Now, there's nothing wrong with defending a man in that scenario. Now, everything else that comes after that, well, those are different things. And like I said about 6 times during this video, despite the fact that everything that MTR said is probably true, it doesn't matter in terms of evaluating his behavior on the show. 2 things can be true at once. He can both be correct in responding appropriately to people insulting him and treating him as if they are above him and they are above reproach, which is ridiculous. And he can also be a scamming, lying motherfucker. Both those things can be true at the same time. A broken clock is right twice a day. As far as I'm concerned, MTR did nothing wrong. And I stand on business on my original video. I don't give a fuck. Cry about it.